Hello and welcome to Naomi's Bookshelf. Today we are going to do my TBR for February. Now I started doing TBR games, or TBR game in particular of TBR Clue for this year. I'm gonna go over the game and how well I did so you can see who done it. Let's do that now. So as of filming, I am filming on the 24th of January. That took me a second to remember which month it is. I have finished 6 rooms and I think I can count on finishing all of the rooms, and I'll explain why. Let's go over the rooms I did finish and the rooms I didn't finish yet. So I read Somewhere in France for Conservatory, which was to read a book between 300 and 400 pages. Finished that, and that was a TBR jar. I read The Greek Escape for Mrs. Peacock. I switched it out because Karen's Swan's a bird. Then I read, if I can find it in the stack, under here, Jingle Bell's Bride, which was for romance, and that one I did read. I think that was for the library. And then I read A Midsummer Night's Dream for Readathon in the kitchen, and I figured, well, seeing as I've owned this collection for over 10 years, I would say all of these books are TBR bets, technically. So I put one of the William Shakespeare plays, as in one of the Henry plays, in the TBR vet slot for the lounge. So there's that. I also read V for the dining room, which was Miss Scarlet, since it has a red cover. And then that's it for what I have finished. What I have on the go, I have 3 yellow books on the go, and I know I'm gonna finish one of them. One of them is this author's book, is another book by this author, but this one also has yellow on it, and I might just fly through this one too. This one's like 200 pages. This one is The Doctor's Perfect Match by Irene Hannon. I think I'm reading Seaside Blessing by her. I found an ebook of it, and it's pretty great so far. It's a love-inspired romance. Really awesome. But I also have Home Before Dark going, and the color looks yellowy green to me, but it looks yellow on the ebook. So I'm gonna say that counts. I have like 150 pages of that left. So I'm gonna try to get through that ebook wise. For some reason, that's the only way I can read that one right now. So either way, I'm gonna have yellow completed, don't worry. Then we have Out of My Comfort Zone for the billiards room. I have been reading my poetry collection by Robert Burns, which I don't know where my copy is right now. And that's a problem because I haven't finished it yet. I have 70 pages left. And to be honest, I am not loving it. However, I think it's just going over my head. And so I will be finishing Robert Burns' poetry. I was hoping for today, but if I can't find my copy, I'm gonna tear my room apart, find my copy, and finish it before the end of the month. So that will be done. Don't worry, 70 pages, I can do it, 70 pages of poetry. The last thing that is most definitely happening this month is For the Hallway, which is Mr. Body. And I will be definitely finishing off Bonnie and Clyde. I started this, but honestly, reading physically hasn't been a very easy thing lately. So this is why this has kind of fallen to the wayside. This book I'm 20 pages in, but it's very interesting already. And I need to read this for my TBR jar picks. So this is happening. Even if I don't get to it in January, I'm going to push it into February. I need to finish this book anyways. I really am liking it and enjoying it so far, and I really want to prioritize it. So if I can physically read, this is the book I'm going to be reading over the next week. And I plan to read this. This one is not long at all. It's 340 pages, 60 pages. And so it's not going to be a hardship. So anyways, that's to say, I got it. Let's try revealing who the person is by guessing, although we do have all the rooms revealed. So my official guess is Miss Scarlet with the candlestick in the ballroom. Here we go. Let's see. Candlestick. Miss Scarlet. Ballroom. I don't have a punishment. Woohoo. Moving on to setting up the board for next month. And there we go. Now let's shuffle them up and on the board. So before we move on, we're going to pick out the TBR books. Now, I'm going to say complete the books, even though I have only one done and one more I am in the middle of. I also did start Born Supremacy, but honestly, I think I need to wait till summer to like binge that series of 2. So hopefully it doesn't come out of here, the sequel again. But we're gonna pull out 3. So here we go. Here's the first one. What is that? Plain Jane. All right. I'll grab that one in a moment. And then we have The Great Hunt by Wendy Higgins. And sorry, I should do it on screen. We'll grab a different one then. There we go, that one. What's that one? No One as Witness. Ooh, that's a big one. By Elizabeth Gouge. Okay, I will grab those books and I'll show you them. So here they are. I have here The Great Hunt by Wendy Higgins. I know this is a fairy tale retelling, but I'm not sure which one it is. And then I have Plain Jane, which is by Laurien Gardner. There's an I in her name, so I feel like I'm pronouncing it correctly by saying Laurien, but I'm not sure. This one, it follows Jane Seymour, the 3rd wife of Henry VIII, so that's very interesting to me. I haven't read a book about Jane Seymour before. Then the last one is one that I got, 140 pages into 4, which is With No One as Witness by Elizabeth George. And this one was quite a racially charged murder mystery set in London. So that one, I remember having to put down just for some reason, and I have held on to it for such a long time, and I would maybe need to restart it, to be honest. And it's a chunky one. It's 600 pages. So we'll see. Let's get on to the board. So for the Hallows prompt, I got Christian fiction, and I will be doing this one for the book club of biblical fiction devourers, and that is To Dwell Among the Cedars by Connilyn Cossette. So the book club discussion is happening in February, so I wanted to read it in February, and I didn't realize all the other reading plans I had. So this is needing to happen anyways, and I'm glad I was able to shoehorn it in. So the next one, clockwise, is The Conservatory, and that is a 3-word title. And I am going to be reading The Great Hunt by Wendy Higgins for this one. I'm going to definitely try to read it. I've owned this one for far too long, and I know nothing about it, so here's that. So the next one's The Dining Room, and the prompt is 400 to 500 pages. Now this one is one that I'm tweaking the prompt a little bit, as I have very few books that I want to read this month that are between 400 and 500 pages. Excuse me. However, I own one book that is exactly 400 pages, and that's a huge book anyways, and it's like double the size, so I'm gonna count it. And that's Pioneer Girl. I had to rest it on my shoulders. It's very heavy. Pioneer Girl by Ingalls Wilder. I'm a co-host for the Little House Read Along this year, which is taking place from the 7th to the 10th. So that's very exciting. I have a whole announcement video about it if you want to check that out. So I want to read this as my TBR for that week, along with Let the Hurricanes Roar. But that will be in my next TBR video, which I have like 4 readathons I want to participate in. So I'm going to be doing a separate TBR video for literally readathons. That's coming up next on my channel, so that you'll see it. That's coming out on Sunday the 30th, 31st. Anyway, so this is my 400-page book, as I definitely plan on reading this in the month. So next one is romance, and that's for the kitchen. I keep forgetting which room it is on the board. But romance, and I have decided to go with A Princess in Theory by Alyssa Cole. I had this one on Audible, and honestly, I really want to participate in Black Lit Month, as well, or the Black Lit Challenge, as well as other readings of like that kind. So this is a great time to pick up an Audible book that I've had for a while and read it for romance. The next one is for the ballroom, and that was historical fiction. And so I'm going to put in quite nicely Plain Jane by Laurien Gardner. That worked out quite well for the prompt, to be honest. And so for the conservatory, we had book club, which is a lifesaver this month, as I have 3 book clubs that I am a part of, and let me tell you, I needed to get some of those books into here. And one of them is definitely the top priority, which is The Mother of the Brontes, When Maria Met Patrick by Sharon Wright. So this is for the Fierce Women's Book Club. This one is not just for women, the book club, but this book club is all about reading women throughout history who have had chronic illness. I personally have daily chronic migraines, and so this woman did not have that. Maria did not have chronic migraines, but she had some sort of blood disorder. I think that's what it was, and I am excited to pick this up. It is very short, which is a huge relief, and I'm excited to learn more about the Mother of the Brontes. So for the billiards room, the one came up was Audible Vet, a book I've had on Audible for a very long time and haven't read yet. This is one where I'm not going to promote Harry Potter often on my channel, but this is one situation where I have been trying to read through this series, and as I'm doing this, I have yet to finish the last book, which I've had on Audible for a very long time. So I'm going to be reading Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. For this, I've owned it on Audible for so long, so it definitely fits this. So for the dining room, we have Read Along and Readathon, which is awesome because this month is the month of readathons, and I will be doing a couple readathons with one book. So I'll be doing the Black Lit Challenge, but I will also be doing the Buzzwordathon with White Rage by Carol Anderson. I'm confusing her name right now in my head, but I think it's Carol Anderson. So this one is a nonfiction. The buzzword this month is colors, so white, and that will be an audiobook I have as well as a Kindle, and I will be excited to read that one. I'm sure it'll be very hard to read at times, but very important. So for the last room, we have the study, which is a 4+ words in the title. I am going to put in With No One as Witness in this spot right now. I know that I am very unlikely to read this one, to be honest. It's been too scary for a very long time. I will try it, but we'll see if I get to it. However, I did pick an Agatha Christie, so maybe that's the official one for that, which is They Do It With Mirrors. So it's a really short Miss Marple one, and I feel like that's just what I need, is short books right now. And so to have that be pulled out of the TBR jar is very unlikely for me to get to it. So basically, I'm gonna probably be reading this one for this prompt, but they're both on this square. So in regards to other things that I do need to read this month, this is not the TBR readathon, remember. I will be finishing out my copy of The Three Musketeers. I've been buddy reading this with Berna from Berna's Bookish Adventures. We are over halfway now, or almost halfway now at this point of filming, and I'm not loving it, but at the same time, I do really want to finish it. So we'll be finishing this out in February. I also have here another buddy read, which will be with Janelle from Too Fond of Books, and that is The House of Treason by Robert Hutchinson. This is about the Tudor dynasty, so that's exciting, especially since I've been watching and reading the Shakespeare plays about the Henrys and the War of the Roses. Is that the name? I'm not with it today, but I'm really excited to read more or learn more. Then I also have another book club book, as I wasn't able to fit more on here. One of them is Educated by Tara Westover. I have this on audio as well, so we'll see if I physically read it or just listen to it. But this one I know is a nonfiction about Tara, who, when she was growing up in a very extremist home, shall we say, where like no doctors, no medical bills, or nothing medically, no schools, nothing, and she ended up having to educate herself. I've heard really great things, and my book club will be discussing this one. Then we also have my other book club, Girls of City by Elizabeth Gilbert, I want to say. This is actually big. It could have probably fit into the 400 to 500 page prompt, so maybe that'll just go in there as well. But this one is not nonfiction. It's a fiction book about a city, and it's supposed to be about these girls and their sexuality and growing up, and I'm not too thrilled about the description, to be honest. But I'm going to try reading it at the very least. I have an ebook of it, so we will see if I read it or not. And if not, it's not the end of the world. I have a lot of other books to read. So that is the end of this TBR. I will be having my second TBR, which is for the Readathons coming out. That is massively big. I haven't filmed it yet because I wanted to put these books potentially in there, and let me warn you, it's huge. So I know it's going to be a long one, but I'll be filming that right away. So if you'd like to stick around on my channel and find out what I'm reading for that, you can click subscribe if you are new here. Also, if you have any suggestions for this board, for the game, prompts wise, I'd love to hear them down below in the comments. And also, if you have any thoughts on these books, which ones I should pick up first, aside from the buddy reads, I would love to hear your thoughts on that. I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.